Hey everyone, it's Jessica Morgan.
John Campbell.
We are here with the City of Sweetwater to give you your quarterly update. We had our Sampo meeting this morning, Sweetwater Merchants and Property Owners Association. We try to always give an update on YouTube that kind of coordinates with that meeting. Again, it's a public open meeting. We'd invite you to come to that anytime you want. The next one is April 16th, maybe. It's the third Thursday in April at 8:30 a.m. here at Sweetwater City Hall, and that's when we'll be posting our next quarterly update. We've got several things to talk to you about today. We've got an update on the Biggs house, an update on KFC. When am I gonna get my mashed potatoes?
That's what everybody wants to know.
I know, that's the only call we get right now. Our RomCom movie that filmed here, so we've got quite a few things to tell you about. We're gonna start with John Campbell, our city planner. He's gonna tell you a little bit about residential, commercial development that's going on. And when can we get those mashed potatoes, John?
Well, keeping our fingers crossed. Hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. But as far as development goes, it's things are picking back up. I think we had a period where things were just going wild and kind of like gangbusters, and then they slowed down a little bit with interest rates and inflation and things like that, and some of those developments kind of that were out there or have been out there for a while, a couple of years now, that have never really gotten off the ground. And now we're starting to get calls on those kind of picking up speed. So on the residential side of things, the one that most people are familiar with that we've talked about over the last couple of years is a new residential development behind Burger King off of Telford Road along the interstate. There's an engineering firm currently working on a site plan for that. That's not been formally submitted to the Planning Commission yet, but the preliminaries are in the works. So hopefully coming up here in the next couple of months, we'll be seeing some plans on that, a preliminary sketch of what that might look like, and we can get moving forward on that. That's the biggest residential development. A couple of years ago when they first proposed this idea, there were going to be about 200 plus, maybe 220 homes going in there. So that's still kind of the plan, is to get that number of houses in that space. So hopefully got some more housing coming. There's a couple of other opportunities that are in the way early phases for other housing as well. I know that one of the gaps that we have here, or that I hear a lot of folks say, is we need more rental, we need more apartments and things like that. So keeping our fingers crossed that we get some more of that in here over the next year or two as well. So residential side of things, definitely picking back up, getting a lot more calls just within the last couple of weeks since Christmas, really, of folks wanting to know about getting building permits and starting new construction on homes. Of course, we've also got the build out that continues in Willow Creek, that next phase up there. I think maybe 6 or so new homes have been built in there, over the last 6 months or so. But again, that next phase will continue to grow out over the next few years. So.
And those are selling quick, I'm sure. As soon as they're done, they're sold.
Yeah, they don't stay on the market long. And then, of course, the High Street townhomes that went in there, the River Park townhomes, they've got the first set complete. They were just waiting on a couple of those to move, basically, to sell those before they start the next building. So, again, you'll start seeing some of that go up, obviously, this year. So.
That's good. Okay, commercial,
we'll just go right into KFC because that's the one everybody wants to talk about.
That's all anybody cares about is some chicken.
I did have correspondence with representative from that developer. I guess it was just prior to Christmas, maybe November. They did assure us that they continue their plans to begin construction here. They said after the first of the year. So keeping our fingers crossed, it's this quarter.
It is January 16th, John.
I understand. And I did email, I sent out an email last week just kind of saying, hey, we're after the first of the year now, can we get an update? So hopefully they're going to be moving forward soon. I have a feeling, like a lot of other folks, they're just watching cost of everything and supplies and things like that, supply and demand. So hopefully we'll get some fried chicken in here. Nobody wants it more than me. I love a good biscuit from KFC, some mashed potatoes and gravy, and fried chicken. So listen, I'm jonesing for it. So I'm right there with you.
We will tell y'all as soon as we know, we promise.
Absolutely.
We'll post it everywhere.
Absolutely. And then, we've talked about these others before, a couple of vacancies with Dollar Tree moving out into their new building, with Fast Pace moving out of the plaza into their new building. That leaves a couple of vacant spaces for commercial use. And those are being marketed, I guess, out there to see if there's anybody that wants to lease those spaces. So keeping our fingers crossed on those as well. But I don't have any any real solid names to throw out there just yet. So,
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so this morning in the Sampo meeting, we had a couple of neat grant projects happen. If you're a member of Sweetwater Merchants and Property Owners Association, you can apply for grant funding. So a lot of the businesses in town have been taking advantage of that over the last year. One that we had awarded previously was to Towns Toffee, and they made Sweetwater chocolate bars. We did a Facebook Live on this page a couple months ago showing you those chocolate bars that have a couple of the murals in town on the outside wrapping. And so she came and talked about that grant funding that she had used to help buy those chocolate molds and start that process. So we were excited to award that grant. We also talked about a new grant application from the Lily Pad Boutique. They're going to be applying for some structural fixes. Anybody that owns a historic building in downtown, our building inspector here knows for sure that there are some real challenges with owning historic buildings and maintaining those. So kudos to all those people who do own historic buildings and take care of them and work so hard at keeping our downtown what it is. But in addition to that, we talked through some of the festivals that we had this past year. Halloween was at 35%. Haley Isbell, our tourism director, gave some numbers on that, and our place of data showed that 2024's Halloween attendance was 35% higher than 2023's. Small town Christmas was actually down just a little bit. It was down it was less than 10%, I think. We're pretty sure that was the cold because it was a freezing cold day. Small town Christmas was the coldest day that we'd had. I also just wanted to give some kudos to our street department for all the work that they've done these last couple weeks with the weather, and I'm telling you, our city streets look great. They did a wonderful job with all of that, and we're really proud of them. One of the other projects they're working on that people have been asking about a lot online and in person is the Green Space Project. We have a little bit more design work that we're finishing up there. That always takes a little bit longer than you think it does, on how exactly the sidewalk in front of the green space is going to go. So we're waiting on the designer to come back with that final plan. Commissioner Stutz over the police department had some concerns about pedestrian safety that we wanted to get worked into that design. So a little bit more work to do on design on that. But as soon as the weather breaks, you're going to see more concrete paths being poured through there. Some of the landscaping, the trees, the bushes. There's going to be a beautiful front entry gate. But that should start back again as soon as we get a little bit of a break in the weather and the temperatures get warm enough to pour concrete and plant plants. One of the other things we talked about in the meeting was our RomCom that filmed here in the fall. I don't know if y'all know, but our Main Street director, who's acting as recorder today, he is recording this video. He was in the RomCom film. He makes a cameo appearance you'll be able to see. That film is actually going to premiere next week down at Athens Movie Palace. We're really excited about that. But we're using this as a marketing tool for Sweetwater to kind of invite people to come, Valentine's Day especially, and all the little romantic things that you can do in town. We've got a lot of activities planned for Valentine's Day. It falls on a Friday this year, so February 14th, so make your plans now to be here in Sweetwater. Our restaurants are going to have great specials and things going on. The Three Generations Art Studio is going to be doing couples pottery class. Is it pottery or is it's clay? You know, like what happens in Ghost.
With Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. You can recreate that with your husband or wife. It's going to be fantastic. The flower shop's going to do build your own bouquets down at the gazebo. Grain Bank Commodities is going to be selling treats at the gazebo. It's going to be a great day at Valentine's Day. We're going to be putting out that marketing material soon, so keep an eye out for that. We'll be sharing it on this page also. And then we talked a little bit about some of the grants the city has right now. You all know, because we've been talking about it forever, the community center property we purchased. We had a Christmas market down there in December. It was great. Our vendors really enjoyed that, and people did a great job supporting that, so thank you so much for that. We've also got our city pool reconstruction underway. We have design meetings on that right now. We hope to see the construction happen before the pool opens this season so that we can still open it regularly, but we're not totally sure if that's going to happen or not. We'll know more in a couple of weeks on that. So it could be that construction is happening at the community center this year and at the pool this year. So that can affect the scheduling, and we'll let you know about that just as soon as we can. We've got some great police funding that's come through. Our police department's done an awesome job in adding new officers that are 100% fully funded through grants. Same thing, upgrading their radios and a couple of new vehicles. All of that was fully funded by grants. So I'm really proud of the work that they're doing in our community. And then multimodal grant, Sampo actually helped us by doing a letter of support on this years ago. That concrete walkway path bike trail is going to go from in front of People's Bank on Highway 11 south towards where Farmers Furniture is, and all of those property owners are about to be contacted and worked out their ingress and egress, but there'll be a nice walkable path, including crossing this bridge here that's it's actually 3 lanes right now with a turn lane in the middle, and you can't turn on the bridge. So we're gonna scoot that a little bit, and there'll be a nice walking path that goes across that bridge. And then hopefully our next phase, what we apply for after this one is completed, will connect a sidewalk all the way back to High Street. So that'll give us some nice connectivity. We've also got a TAP grant on the north end of Main Street that'll help us put the sidewalk up that way. That design is supposed to be finished probably sometime next month. So we've got some progress on those, and we're excited to see those happen. What else? What else did we talk about? That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, we talked about, just gave a quick update on the Biggs house. We are currently taking bids for some renovations there. That's, again, we're waiting on grant funding before anything happens there, but going to get some bids and see what it might cost to basically just secure what's there. Do some work on the existing brickwork there, and then also potentially do some re-roofing there to keep it from leaking, just to make it structurally sound. And that way, as more grant funding becomes available, then maybe we can do further renovations. So just waiting on those bids to come in on the Biggs house. We also mentioned the Duck Park Bridge. It's currently closed down to use because of some safety issues that were there. And so looking at that as well to see what we can do to make that safe and functional. So those are a couple of other projects that are out there that are taking a little bit of time for us to make sure we do things the right way and get the bids in and make sure it's safe for everybody involved.
So that's pretty much it for this first quarter. We'll see you again in April, and we'll make sure to give you some updates. This is our 150th year. We have another meeting at 3:30 this afternoon to do a 150th committee. We've got great videos on our YouTube page. We've shared them on the Sampo page, so go there and watch them. The first one is about the Lost Sea and how it's made an impact on Sweetwater and the history of the Lost Sea. We've got one on the high school. We've got one on High Point School. We've got one on TMG. We've got one on the eclipse that happened here years ago. So lots of great, interesting topics on those videos. And you can visit SweetwaterTN150.com for a full list of all the events and everything we're doing. Our next event is the concert. It's a concert through the decades. We've hired a professional singing group to come in. They're going to do full lights, sound, everything at Sweetwater Elementary School on Broad Street. Those tickets are on sale now. You can come, or the tickets are on sale through the Sweetwater website. So just go to festivals and events at the Sweetwater website at sweetwatertn.gov, and you can buy tickets for that concert. We have a capacity of right at 500, and we've probably sold a couple hundred of those tickets. So make sure you get those tickets for that February concert. And then we have Founders Day in April. We have a fair in September. We have our fire truck turning 100 years old in July. We're gonna have a birthday party, and then we'll have another candlelight service at the end. We're so grateful to Sweetwater Elementary School and that 150th committee for all the work they did for last week's candlelight celebration that opened our 150th year. We got a lot of neat things planned, so it's going to be a great year here in Sweetwater. If you guys have any questions in the meantime, be sure to call City Hall 337-6979. We're always happy to answer those. Thanks so much. Have a great day.